And welcome into this week's edition of the Recruiting Roundup on pros2preps.com. I'm Jared Cohen, joined by Jason Jewell, our high school football recruiting insider. And high school football was officially underway last weekend at University of Phoenix Stadium for the Sullenberger Classic, a clean sweep for the Arizona schools over the Nevada schools. The first game, Blue Ridge, going up against Mawapa Valley from Overton, Nevada.
On display, Chance Cox, Arizona State commit at linebacker, played some fullback in this game. Probably wasn't as big of a factor in the game as many would have expected. Only had 2 touches, was in on 1 sack. Rumor was he's nursing an ankle injury, so Coach Morrow probably wanted to rest him for the rest of the season. You know, Blue Ridge won the state championship last year, and they want to repeat and do that again. One
guy that really stood out for the Yellow Jackets, though, with 2 interceptions and 2 touchdowns on the night, was Ben Watson.
No one had heard of this kid before this game, and he was absolute dynamite. If he continues on this pace, expect him to get more recruiting attention.
So the second game of the night, which got Arizona its sweep, Desert Vista knocked off Palo Verde from Las Vegas. Who are a couple of guys? There's a lot of guys being recruited on the Desert Vista team, but who are a couple guys that stood out to you?
I came away from the game really liking Jarek Hilders, the running back for Desert Vista. Has offers from San Diego State, Air Force, and New Mexico State. He was dynamite on Saturday. Also, I'm a big fan of Lorenzo Melvin, the defensive lineman. He was a terror all night. Played tight end as well. High motor kid. Has offers from Western Illinois, NAU, North Dakota, FCS schools.
So the first week of the high school season is going to be this Friday for the rest of the schools around the state. And we have some marquee matchups that will be present for us right off the bat. The first one going to happen in the East Valley between Mountain Point and Hamilton, 2 powers.
If you like offensive line play, this is the game to be at. Hamilton, always a power on the offensive line. They have Casey Tucker Jr. already committed to USC, Patrick Joseph, offensive tackle, committed to Army, and Devin Fanai, a guard, getting recruited by NAU versus Mountain Point's Kenny Lacey and junior Natrell Curtis. Both of those kids are being heavily recruited. Lacey's down to Arkansas, Nebraska, both in-state schools, UCLA in his top 5. And Curtis already has double-digit offers, again, only being a junior.
And while that battle is going to be going on in the trenches, there's also going to be another great battle on the outside between one of the top wide receivers in the state, junior Jalen Brown, going against one of the top lockdown corners on the West Coast, Cole Luke of Hamilton.
Huge matchup out there outside. Jalen Brown, only a junior, like you mentioned, has already double-digit offers. Big-time game breaker, been playing on varsity since he was a freshman, been an all-conference player since his freshman year. Going against Cole Luke, one of the top 100 players in the entire United States, has narrowed down his top 4 to USC, Oklahoma, Texas, and Notre Dame.
Another game. Chaparral going to be going up against Sal Point, coming up from Tucson. A lot of good, durable players that are being highly recruited in this matchup.
I expect fireworks out of this game. You look at the 2 receivers at Chaparral in Jake Rowe and Jordan Hamilton, both very, very experienced players and both being heavily recruited. And then you go to Sal Point, you look at Andy Cota, their junior quarterback, was injured a little bit last week. Hopefully he's back and ready to play against Cameron Denson, potentially the top recruit in the 2014 class.
And the third game on our list, we're going to stay out on the east side. We have Notre Dame Prep, the Saints, going up against Marcos Deniza.
This game is going to come down to, can the experienced defensive players at Notre Dame contain the athletes at Marcos Deniza? When you start looking down and breaking down the players, Marcos has 2 very good skilled guys on the offense, Paul Elvira and running back Maurice Lee, both committed to the University of Arizona. Then you take a look at the other side of the ball in Notre Dame, very good linebacking core, Luke DeFury and Duncan Morfitt. Both have academy offers right now. Then outside you have Mo White playing corner, an all-state kid, has plenty of FCS offers right now, NAU, North Dakota State schools like that. And then you look at defensive end, Parker Zellers, doesn't have any offers yet, but as the season continues, he could get some recruiting attention.
And when talking about Marcos Deniza, you can't forget about cornerback Priest Willis. Has 30-some-odd offers. He narrowed it down to 16, but we look forward to hearing about his top 5, where he's going to be taking some of his official visits. That concludes this week's edition of the Recruiting Roundup. For Jason Jewell, I'm Jared Cohen for pros2preps.com.